What is up, friends? Good morning and greetings and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality, to your health and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 28 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, rosacea, eczema, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human body is always a healing system. The human biological system is a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. No medical intervention required for the healing process to occur. It does it on its own, and while some folks may call that healing system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we want to hear from you. We welcome your phone calls on The Bright Side. Our number is 877-300-7645, 877-300-7645. Let us help you change your life today. Let us help you change the lives of your loved ones and friends and family members today as well. If you know anybody who's on a prescription medication or on a series of prescription meds and they want to get off their drugs and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you do that. If you have questions about the longevity products, ingredients, formulations, specific health issues, or if you just have a success story you'd like to share, we'd love to hear from you at 877-300-7645. We'll take your phone calls in our second segment. We've got a special guest coming on at the bottom of the hour. Clinton Scott, 46-year-old minister in training, lost 70 pounds on the longevity products. His blood pressure dropped to normal. His blood sugar and cholesterol also went down to normal. And Clinton is going to be hosting me in Minnesota this Sunday, November 17th, for a free health seminar at the Faith Tabernacle Gospel Fellowship International Church. We'll be talking to Clinton at the bottom of the hour, so we'll take your phone calls in our second segment. If you are in the Minneapolis area, love to see you at 5:30 p.m. this coming Monday, November 17th, at the Faith Tabernacle Gospel Fellowship International Church. That's at 2025 4th Street North, Minneapolis 55411. If you want to MapQuest or GPS it, you can also call Clinton at 763-221-8432, 763-221-8432 for RSVP or event information. And the seating is limited, so please RSVP if you can. Not that we'll turn anybody away, but just so we know how many seats to set up. Clinton's at 763-221-8432, and we'll be talking to him in the bottom of the hour. So call in now, actually, and we'll get to your calls in our second segment. If you're interested in purchasing any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. Okay, I want to say a few more things about vitamin C. We've been talking about that for a couple of days now. And then we're going to move on to something really, really cool, a signaling molecule, a series of, or a few different signaling molecules, much like prostaglandins. We talked about how darn important prostaglandins are. Well, it turns out there's really cool type of signaling molecule that's similar to prostaglandin, but also different from prostaglandins in the sense that these signaling molecules are gases. They're vapors. And we're going to talk about that for the next few days as soon as we finish up on vitamin C here. Vitamin C, as we said, is only a vitamin for a few animals, human beings, primates, rodents, and the fruit bat. For most other animals, vitamin C is made by their bodies, and it's not a vitamin for them. Vitamin C is a very, very simple molecule. It's a stress management molecule. It's produced in high amounts when an animal is under duress. It's much more, of course, than a stress management molecule, and its multifunctionality is one of the reasons why this stuff is so darn important for antiviral protection, for building connective tissue, for supporting the immune system, for helping the body process and manage stresses for the adrenal glands, for the thyroid, for the immune system, for the skin. There's just so many places where vitamin C plays a role. It's wonderfully antiviral. Best flu vaccine ever. And, of course, it doesn't have the toxicity that's associated with flu vaccines. And we're starting to hear about flu vaccines and how you should have the flu vaccine, other vaccines as well, shingles vaccine. Terry Bradshaw, who was a great quarterback, but doesn't know much about health apparently, talks about how you have to have a shingles vaccine, and they're working on an Ebola vaccine and a hepatitis C vaccine. The way I look at it, the best vaccine or the best non-toxic vaccine you can ever use is making sure you got enough vitamin C. The only animals that don't get Ebola and the only animals that don't get AIDS are the animals that don't make vitamin C. That's got to tell you something right there. As far as prostaglandins go, vitamin C or ascorbic acid is a key player in the production of prostaglandins along with zinc and along with vitamin B6, pyridoxine, vitamin B6. You, of course, get lots of vitamin C and lots of vitamin B6 and all the other B vitamins and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Remember, prostaglandin deficiency is a big-time problem. It's associated with all kinds of health issues, especially autoimmune diseases and inflammatory diseases. And vitamin C deficiency is also a big problem. We don't think about vitamin C deficiency as being an issue because most people get the RDA, recommended daily allowance, or ridiculous deprivation allowance of vitamin C, which is 60 milligrams a day. Remember, a rat is making the equivalent of 10 grams of vitamin C a day. A billy goat is making a lot more than that, and a cow is making a lot more than that, and more when they're under stress. And if they're going to tell us that we only need 60 milligrams of vitamin C, a 1/100th of what a rat makes. Vitamin C also has a stabilizing effect on stress hormones, on cortisol, and it can reduce some of the negative effects associated with caffeine if you're drinking lots of Coke or eating lots of sugar, having problems with insomnia or anxiety or jitteriness, or any kind of adrenal gland suppression. Vitamin C can be helpful. Vitamin C can be thought of as an adrenal gland support vitamin, and given vitamin C's anti-stress roles, this should come as no surprise. A couple days ago, Glenn Beck was in the news. He said he's really, really sick. What do you have wrong with him? He's got something called adrenal fatigue, which most people listening to the show have heard of, but is still considered to be kind of weird and quackery by mainstream medicine. Adrenal fatigue is just when your body is under so much duress that your adrenal glands can no longer provide you with the anti-stress hormones to keep you going. And, of course, your adrenal glands get pooped out, just like other systems get pooped out. These days, it's pretty much impossible not to have some degree of adrenal fatigue. And if you're interested in protecting yourself, get yourself on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which will give you 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C per 2 doses. If you're trying to get by on the minimum, the recommended daily allowance, the RDA of vitamin C, that's not even going to be a drop in the bucket. 60 milligrams of vitamin C is not even going to touch an adrenal fatigue issue. Remember, vitamin C is also important for building connective tissue, which forms 50% of the body. There's other nutrients that are important for adrenal health. Zinc, as I say, 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate is very important for the adrenal glands. If vitamin C is the main vitamin for the adrenal glands, zinc is probably the most important mineral for the adrenal glands, along with magnesium and perhaps copper as well. As far as the B vitamins go, vitamin B12 is epic when it comes to supporting the stress response. Again, vitamin B12 deficiencies, like vitamin C deficiencies, are probably not uncommon. Vitamin B5 is also important for the adrenal glands. If you're dealing with any kind of fat issues, fat hormone issues, estrogen issues, testosterone issues, especially hot flashes as you get older, or maybe excess secretion of skin oils, vitamin B5 plays a major role in how the body handles fats and how the body makes fatty hormones, adrenal fatty hormones like estrogen and testosterone and progesterone. But no nutrient is more important for the adrenal glands than vitamin C. Okay, so we've been talking lots about signaling molecules that interact with cells. They, like a doorbell, kind of hitting the doorbell on a cell, or you could think of it like a key opening up a lock. And these signaling molecules, prostaglandins, are the most important. There's lots of these signaling molecules. Although prostaglandins are the most important, there's another class of signaling molecules that we're going to spend the next few days on. They're really, really fascinating. I'll tell you what I mean when we come back from our break and take your phone calls as well. 877-300-7645 is our number on the bright side. We're coming back right after this. All right, we are back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Got a few lines open for you. Try to get on board here. If you can give us a call now, because we're going to have a special guest in our bottom of the hour at 87. Our number is 877-300-7645. 877-300-7645. We got Clinton Scott coming on at the bottom of the hour. He's going to be telling his interesting story about how he got involved with longevity and lost 70 pounds. I'll be doing a talk for Clinton in Minnesota this Monday, November 17th, at the Faith Tabernacle Gospel Fellowship International Church, 2025 4th Street. If you're in Minneapolis, in the Minneapolis area, St. Paul area, love to see you. 5:30 this Monday, November 17th. And we'll talk to Clinton at the bottom of the hour and take your phone calls this segment, 877-300-7645. If you're interested in purchasing any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com, pull down on our shopping cart. We've got all the products up there, including the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Suero V and Amosai from Jordan Rubin, the Healthy Start Pack, and the Ultimate Enzymes, all the products you hear us talk about and recommend on the program. They're up at brightsideben.com. Of course, you can also click on the Join the Team link if you want to start a longevity business and make some money selling longevity products. Earn some thank you checks, all for a one-time $10 fee. Of course, you can just get your products at the wholesale price if you so desire. Got a neat letter here from Ginger. Where did I put that letter? Darn it. Can't find it. Never find these things when I want them. Ginger. What did she say here? Dear Ben, my name is Ginger. I'm a good friend of Kat's. I want to thank you for answering her email. I cannot begin to describe how my life has been changed in the last 7 weeks since I started using the longevity products. This is just the beginning for me, which just adds to my excitement. I'm glad she stayed by my side. Such an example of what the products can do, as some important people in my life gave up on me through my illness. Thank you again. I look forward to a bright future with longevity. Thank you for writing, Ginger. Appreciate that very much. Love getting these letters. You know, I've been working with the longevity products since 1997 or 1998, and I've seen these. I can't tell you how many times I get these letters, and that's why I do these. That's why I do this program, and that's why I'm so proud and honored to be part of the longevity family. Okay, time to hit our phones. Let's go to Graziano. What's up, my man, in San Diego? How you doing, buddy?
Good, I'm doing good. Hey, I just had a quick question on lysine and fighting cold sores. Does lysine work pretty good, and then how much it takes?
You know, cold sores are caused by a depressed immune system. That having been said, there's an amino acid, which Graziano, I need you to turn your radio down. We've got an echo here, bro. There's an amino acid called arginine, which we've talked about in the past, and we will be talking about more in the next few days. And arginine competes with lysine. Viruses, herpes virus loves arginine, and by using lysine, you can deprive those viruses of arginine because of this competitive effect. So some people feel like taking lysine, maybe a gram of lysine every hour or so. When you feel a little tingle, the cold sore tingle can help reduce the severity of the cold sore or entirely eliminate the cold sore, and I have seen good results with lysine. I don't really like when people take huge amounts of one amino acid at the expense of all the rest, and arginine is a super important amino acid, not just for viruses, but for human beings too, for the immune system, for the reproductive system, for the heart. We'll be talking about how it's involved in hormone chemistry here, in gaseous hormone chemistry here in the next few days. So using lysine may be helpful in the short term, but it's not a great long-term strategy. For folks who get cold sores, you want to regard that as a depressed immune system. Cold sores are a virus, just like we talked about earlier, how you have the Ebola virus, HIV virus, AIDS virus, shingles virus, flu viruses. Best way to protect yourself from viruses is to build your immune system. Make sure you're using vitamin C on a regular basis, high doses of vitamin C, and make sure you're not doing anything that suppresses the immune system. And the most important immune system suppressant that we use or we interact with on a regular basis is sugar. Make no mistake about it, you guys. Sugar is a toxin. Now, certainly you need small amounts of it. A teaspoon or so needs to be in the blood at all times. The brain uses sugar. Now, I'm not saying you want zero tolerance for it, But high ingestion of quick-acting sugars is one of the most powerful ways to suppress your immune system and run higher risks of all immune issues, including cold sores. If you're getting frequent cold sores, think of it as something suppressing the immune system. Also think of it as some kind of stress burden on the body. When the stress system is activated, the immune system is suppressed. This is really important. When the stress system is activated, the immune system is suppressed. And you can tell this because doctors will give you steroid drugs, which are immune suppressant type drugs, when you have some kind of inflammation or some kind of stress in the body. When you have some kind of attack on the body, a rash or an immune system activator, doctors will shut down the immune system by using adrenal-type chemicals, steroids, essentially. So steroid chemicals, cortisol, and such stress chemicals have an immune-suppressant, anti-inflammatory effect, which is not necessarily a good thing if you're dealing with cold sores. So relaxing the body, deep breathing, eliminating sugar, reducing stresses is always your best strategy for dealing with cold sore viruses or any other kind of virus or any other kind of assault on the body. Making sure you're strengthening those adrenal glands. Lots of ways to strengthen the adrenal glands with nutrients. Zinc, as we said earlier, is important. Vitamin C is important. B12, vitamin B12 is important. B5 is important. Keeping your sugar intake down is important. Deep breathing is important. Lots of great adrenal strategies. You can even use something called liquid adrenal extract, which is also helpful, which also might be helpful as well. Youngevity is a product called De-Stress, which is specific for adrenal health. Lots of great strategies. Yes, sir.
And then one. Thank you. That was great. And then one more thing. Do you ever come down to the Youngevity headquarters out in Chula Vista?
I'm thinking of doing a talk in San Diego here at the beginning of the year. I've never been to the Youngevity headquarters. Do you work at that? Do you work for Youngevity?
I do. Well, I don't work for them, but I'm just a representative. I just got on Youngevity from listening from you. So, but I've gone to the headquarters and listened to Joel Wallach, but usually, I've never seen you over here.
I've never been to the headquarters, but I'm thinking of doing a trip out to San Diego, so keep listening to the program, and you'll hear about it.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thanks, Graziano. Okay, see, I hope I didn't confuse folks with this idea that cortisol or cortisone and prednisone and dexamethasone and these kind of beta-methasone, these various steroid-type drugs, suppress the immune system, and by suppressing the immune system, they exert their anti-inflammatory effects. And these kinds of drugs are analogs of natural cortisol and natural types of adrenal hormones, which do the same thing, suppress the immune system and exert anti-inflammatory effects. All right, Justine in Detroit. What's up? Welcome to the bright side.
Hi. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for calling and thank you for asking. What's going on?
Great. Okay. I'm at work, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. Okay. I have two people. This is really weird, and they both have an issue with their Achilles tendon. It hurts regularly, and also while I was just listening to you talk about the adrenals, I was just wondering if the adrenals and an issue with them is related to that sleep apnea thing.
Absolutely, 100%. Sleep apnea is Sleep apnea, diabetes, inflammation, stress on the body, they all go together. And whenever you have stresses on the body, you're looking at an adrenal, some kind of adrenal issue, absolutely. So the adrenal glands being your stress management glands. Sleep apnea, number one, though, needs to be regarded as a blood sugar issue, blood sugar stresses, if you will. As far as the Achilles tendon goes, think inflammation. We got to take a break here, so we'll finish up when we come back. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll finish up with Justine's question and then talk to Clinton Scott when we come back from our break. Don't go away. All right, welcome back to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're going to be talking to Clinton Scott here momentarily. Justine, are you still there?
I am.
Okay, so sleep apnea problems, breathing. Apnea means not breathing. Apnea, it has to do with the muscles. It has to do with inflammation. It's associated with weight, with obesity, with diabetes, etc. It can also be linked to adrenal problems, and apnea can actually trigger adrenal problems. Sometimes people will get up in the middle of the night and not be able to fall asleep, and that can have something to do with sleep apnea, triggering adrenal secretions. When the adrenal glands kick in, you feel like you're about to be eaten by a tiger, and boom, you'll wake up. And if you can't fall back, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't fall back asleep, that can have something to do with a surge of adrenal hormones that are following sleep apnea or following blood sugar problems as well. And as I say, sleep apnea and blood sugar issues and diabetes all go hand in hand. If you do have sleep apnea, you want to regard it as a sign that you're not handling sugar correctly and that you may also have adrenal issues, either adrenal stress issues or adrenal fatigue issues. And all of the adrenal support strategies we talked about before we went to the break are appropriate, as well as blood sugar stabilizing strategies, making sure that you're using your sweeties, chromium, vanadium, magnesium, zinc, vitamin A. All of these are very important for helping the body process sugar. Of course, not eating a lot of sugar before you go to bed, or maybe even taking in a little bit of protein before you go to bed, is a good way to prevent this from occurring. As far as the Achilles issue goes, you want to consider that to be an inflammatory issue, assuming that there's no mechanical trauma going on. They didn't strain the Achilles tendon or do something traumatic, playing basketball or something like that. If it's just general kind of throbbing sort of discomfort that's occurring in the Achilles tendon and it's not following a mechanical injury, then it's an inflammatory condition. And there's lots of things you could do for that. Number one, you want to think about why the body is inflaming, and that usually means look for digestive problems if that's the case. If they know they have digestive issues, food allergies, food intolerances, then starting to eliminate foods and then patching up the digestive tract using the Fucoidan Z and Biolumin Nightly Essence and perhaps some glutamine powder, all of which can have a nice beneficial effect on healing the gut. Arginine, perhaps. There's also a really neat amino acid that we'll be talking about here in the next few days called citrulline. And citrulline is poised to become the next big thing in the world of nutritional supplements. We'll talk about that here probably next week. And that's good for helping support digestive health if you have an inflammatory health issue. Citrulline is spelled, by the way, Citrulline. And we didn't really know a lot about citrulline until the last few years, but we're learning more and more about how important it is for digestive health. As I say, we'll be talking about that here in a little bit, in the next few days. And then the glucogel caps can have a double effect for improving inflammatory issues, Achilles tendon issues, in the sense that the glucogel caps can help with the digestive system, and they can also help with local inflammation. They can help you build cartilage. They can help you build connective tissue, build tendon strength. And they also have anti-inflammatory benefits, and they also have digestive health benefits. Of course, the Healthy Start Pack goes without saying. You want to make sure you're using the Healthy Start Pack. And sip on your Beyond Tangy Tangerine while you're taking your glucogel caps or with your glucogel caps. Make sure you use a little Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Why? Because vitamin C and the glucogel caps go hand in hand. Vitamin C helps the glucogel caps work, and you're going to get 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C per 2 scoopfuls of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. So lots of good strategies there for the Achilles tendon. The essential fatty acids also are important, and they're part of the Healthy Start Pack. Those are always going to be important for inflammatory health issues via this whole prostaglandin connection that we've been talking about in the last few days. So lots of things you could do there, ma'am. Hope we helped you, Justine. Any other questions?
Yes. Well, yeah, while you were talking, it brought to mind, you were talking about the amino acids. And so I know one of the things that I hear people talk about is the Bragg's liquid amino acids.
That's not bad. Not a bad strategy. It comes from soy. So if you have a problem with soy, you may have an issue. But yeah, it's a good source of amino acids. It's not a good source of a high concentration of any individual amino acids, but it's a good way to get a broad spectrum of amino acids.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Justine.
Great.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Okay, bye-bye. All right. We're going to talk to Clinton Scott, who previously has worked in the mortgage industry. Last 10 years, he's been mentoring at-risk inner-city youth and teaching them life skills and goal setting, etc. Clinton is a pastor in training, or a minister in training, as he said. He had a massive stroke a couple years ago. He was 100 pounds overweight. Diagnosed with high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol. These are all things I hear about all the time, you guys. Through prayer, research, and diligence, he's lost 70 pounds. His blood pressure's dropped to normal. His blood sugar's dropped to normal. His cholesterol levels have gone down to normal. And he attributes it to the longevity products. I'm going to be doing a talk for Clinton in Minnesota on Monday, November 17th at the Faith Tabernacle Gospel Fellowship International Church. I brought Clinton on the program today to tell his story, because when I talk about stuff, it means, I give you the science, I give you the technical background to all of the benefits of the longevity products and nutritional supplementation. But the way I look at it, it's much more meaningful when a guy like Clinton comes on and tells his personal story, personal, real-life story about how these products and the concepts of nutritional supplementation affected him personally. So please welcome to the bright side, Clinton Scott. What's going on, Clinton? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing today, sir?
Good to talk to you this morning. And why don't you give the listeners a little, I gave a little bit about your bio, but why don't you tell the listeners a little bit more information about who you are, and then let's get into how you discovered longevity and your personal story with the longevity products.
Well, I am a minister in training, and I have worked with inner city youth primarily through sports and helping them attain a vision for their life. And, had many years of the mortgage industry and been through that process. And so I have my experience here, and I'll just start off here just from the beginning. And so my journey of health actually started back in August 25th, 2012. And what happened is, after coming from a church service, I was sitting down and I was talking with my wife, and I was looking at a game, and it just seemed like the game was not processing in my game or in my mind. It just seemed like I was always behind. So if a quarterback threw the ball, it just seemed like I missed a whole chunk of the play.
So you were watching the game. You're watching the game, but it's not coming through your brain on some level.
And my brain wasn't processing it at all. It's just like, this is odd. It's like I should be right on time with this game, and I couldn't catch up to the game. And so within like 30 minutes of the game, I was talking to my wife, and my words just started fumbling around.
Oh,
and it was very scary at that point, because I looked at her and I went in the bathroom to just be by myself, and I was like, I couldn't get my speech to catch up.
Wow.
And I said, in my mind, I just said, what's going on? Within, I would say, probably a minute or so, my words came back.
How old were you, Clinton?
At that point, I was 44 years old at that point.
You were 34? Or 44?
44.
44. All right, we got to take a break. Hang tight. Don't go away, Clinton, okay? Got to take a break.
No problem.
I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back right after this. All right, we're back on The Bright Side talking to Clinton Scott, telling his personal story. So, Clinton, you had a stroke. It sounds like it was a stroke, right? You're age 42, and the words aren't coming out of your mouth. That's what it sounds like, correct?
Absolutely. It was started in the occipital temporal area there, and it was also a petechial hemorrhage. But I'm just going to start off real quick. What happened is early Saturday morning, I just had this. As I laid down to go to bed, I just had a headache that was just out of this world. I never was a headache type of person at all, and this was just outrageous. And I was just laying there, and when I woke up the next morning, Saturday, I just felt like all the energy was just totally sapped out of me. And that day I was just attending going fishing. And I said, no, I'm just too tired. I'm not going to go fishing. And so I just laid there the whole day, the whole evening until the next morning. Well, that Sunday morning, I needed to teach Sunday school. And I went in and I taught the Sunday school class, but I just felt like it was just I wasn't on point. At least I felt like I wasn't on point. And then I had this thought that came in my head, and I talked to the Sunday school class, and I said, you know what? I said, I need to lose some weight. And I was telling that to the class, and I said, I just need to get back in shape and do what I need to do. And I said, if something happens to me, I think it wouldn't be because I didn't know what I need to. I just need to tap in and do it. Well, needless to say, that Monday morning, I went and I drove to work, and within probably 2 hours of getting to work, I had this funny feeling that just came over me, and I was very emotional, and I was on the phone with my wife, and I said, I think I need to get some insurance, some more insurance. And probably 15 minutes later, I went over to my supervisor, and I looked at him, and I said, you know what? I said, I think I need some help. And as soon as I said that, I collapsed in his arms, and after I collapsed, I went and sat down in a chair, and I really couldn't speak or anything. And he just kept looking at me and said, hey, big guy, what's going on? And I just said, in my head, I was saying things, but I couldn't get out the words. And so at that point, I think everybody realized that I think he needs some help. And so one of my team members grabbed me by the wrist, and another one was behind me, and they were walking me downstairs. And at this point, I didn't have a sense of direction really at all. And so they walked me downstairs, and we waited until the EMTs came, and they were asking me questions, and I was fumbling in my thoughts. I couldn't put anything together really. And I remember they tried to ask me a question, and the question was, you know, do you have a wife and do you have any kids? And I said to them, I think I do, but I'm not sure.
Wow.
Both questions.
Wow.
So I didn't know if I had a wife or kids. And my kids at that point were 18 and 16.
Wow.
And my wife, I had been married for over 20 years.
Oh my goodness! So now, so you were having a stroke, clearly, right? Did they know it right away? Did they say that they assessed it right away? They diagnosed it right away?
No, they didn't assess it or anything. Once I got to the hospital, they went and put me into the, I guess it's an MRI machine, and at that point I was told that I did have a stroke. Now the one thing is, I thank them. From this point is that I didn't get any medication. The neurologist said, we don't want to mess up anything. We don't want to give him any type of medicine or nothing at this point. And so I had a Russian neurologist that really is kind of in the industry of medicine, but I think he's kind of, they would call him a renegade.
Okay. He understood. Did he understand nutrition?
Yes, he did. After I dealt with him further down the road, he wasn't totally on board with them at all. And one of the things that he told me, he said, once you get out of this place, then you need to come back and see me because I'm going to put you on a different protocol. And what I mean by that is, initially when I was in that hospital, I was under pharmaca prison. I had every pill that you could think of.
True. And prison's the right word. Prison's the right word because you have to do what they're telling you to do. When they're caring for you, you can't take the supplements you want to take. You got to do the treatments they tell you to do when they're caring for you. And we only have a couple minutes, Clinton, so I want to kind of steer this into how you got involved with longevity. What all of a sudden did somebody tell you about it? Did you hear about it on the radio? Did you hear Dr. Wallace?
After research, and it took me down the road of going through the wrong supplements to really to get to the right supplements. And the reason why I say that is because I was sitting there and I seen Dr. Wallach on Benny Hinn's show. Okay. And something told me in my spirit that this is the right way to go. Nice. This is absolutely the right way to go. And by getting away from, the wrong type of things, what I mean is, the stuff that they sell at GNC or Walgreens or CVS, the watered down generic versions, I got to the right ones, but I had to go through a trial and error period just for that piece right there. But once I was on a constant conquest to get the right supplements, and just listening to Dr. Wallach, it all made perfect sense.
Nice.
This is the perfect sense. And then after that, because I have a researcher spirit too, and so I listened to some of you. When you were sitting down with Dr. Wallach, I sit and listen to Dr. Glidden, and I consider you and Dr. Glidden like the disciples
Dr. Wallach.
of Dr. Wallach.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, just perfect. And so anytime and any chance that I get, by my numbers just coming into perfect balance without medicine, let's make that clear. Without the side effects of medicine.
Right.
This all turned around by using the longevity products.
So you got on the Healthy Star Pack first, correct?
Absolutely.
And then what did you notice and how long? What did you notice and how long did it take you to notice?
I noticed that, number one, that it felt like my brain was coming into balance. Meaning that things that would take me into like a higher state of emotional type of unbalance, by taking the things, it seems like my moods were coming back into balance. Things wouldn't anger me to a level, because one of the areas that I was affected not only was in my language, but in my emotional area too.
Now, how long did it take you to notice results?
Oh, I would say probably about 4 to 5 months is when I really start like taking notes. Before that, with my sugar levels and my right away, my sugar levels, every area started.
They improved right away. They improved right away.
Right away. I mean, where you can notice when I went in and got those labs done. All my, I think what is it, your AC1 or your 1 AC or whatever? I was at 13. Mine came down to 5.6.
Are you serious?
Blood pressure.
Your A1, your hemoglobin A1C went from 13 to what?
To 5.6.
And how long?
I would say probably between those labs, it was probably about 6 months. When I went in there for that lab, my blood pressures, all that, everything just turned around. My sugar levels, everything came back into balance. But that just tells you that your body is just craving for the right source.
That's exactly right. And now we're just totally out of time here, Clint. What would you tell somebody who's on the bubble about supplementing? Oh, I can't supplement. Too expensive. I don't know if it really works. It sounds like it's silly. What would you tell somebody real quick?
I would tell somebody that you have to, that you need to. This is the life-changing and the best thing for you. That medicine will not work for you. It is not the answer. It will cause all kind of side effects with you. If you want to be made whole and you want to be healed, longevity is definitely the best source that I've researched, and I've researched a lot.
Thank you. God bless you, Clinton. Clinton, we're out of time, buddy. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday. Thank you so much for sharing your story. That was Clinton Scott from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and that's all the time we have for today. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a spectacular, wonderful, awesome day. We'll talk to you all later, folks. Bye for now.